Hello boys and girls, children of all ages, and welcome to the French Grand Prix here at Manicourt. About mid-France, in the middle of nowhere pretty much, but all the teams have made it. So we're going to carry on and roll with that. Michael Schumacher currently on pole position with a 1:15 dead. Panis in the BAR has jumped into second, Coulthard in third, Webber fourth. The two arrows 5th and 6th, Barrichello 7th. Button's gone down to 9th because Montoya in the Toyota is in 4th. Webber's on pole position. Ralph Schumacher's jumped into 3rd. Barrichello's jumped into 3rd. Alonso's jumped into 2nd in the Toyota. Lots of action happening in the first 20 minutes. Can't even keep up. First down to 10th, half a second because Panis has just blitzed the pole time. Panis currently on pole with a 1:14.5. Alonso is also on a 1:14.5. Coulthard's on a 1:14.7 because Michael Schumacher's on a 1:14.4. Frenson's done all of his laps. He's not going to improve from that 7th position anymore. Alonso's just jump into 7th and pole position. Barrichello's done all of his laps. He's now going to be in 7th at the very best. Webber's on to his final laps. He has completed it. Ralph Schumacher's improved, but not improved his time, position. He's improved his time. Panis has not improved his position. Looks like not many of the cars are now improving their position. All back to Carnage jumped into 5th place. So both BARs are in 3rd and 5th. As it currently stands with 10 minutes left of the session.
10 minutes to go.
Matsukane cannot improve his position. He stays in 5th. No, Hill has not improved his position. So there is your top 13. Alonso, Schumacher, Panis, Coulthard, Matsukane, Webber, Raikkonen, Barrichello, Frenson, Schumacher, Montoya, Button, Hill are your top 13. 2 BARs, 2 Arrows, 2 Jordans, then 2 Renaults, 2 Jaguars, the remaining McLaren and the 2 Minardis. 14th down to 20th, and that is your grid. 1.8 seconds separates first to last. As we transition into the race now. We've gone straight into the grid. And away we go at a very wet Manicourt. Alonso's got off to a fantastic start. Schumacher cannot challenge. Schumacher's gone wide. Who's going to overtake who on the second corner? This is where all the overtaking happens. Not much overtakes happening though. Alonso keeps on to the lead. Michael Schumacher in 2nd. Panis in 3rd. At the moment. As we look through the grid, Schumacher's in 2nd, as said. Panis 3rd. It's Coulthard 4th. Matsukane 5th. Webber 6th. Barrichello in 7th. He's under pressure from Frenson in 8th. Good start from Frenson. Schumacher 9th. Montoya's had a horrible start. He's gone into 10th. Button is in an 11th place. Hill 12th. Alesi 13th. Fisichella 14th. De La Rosa's in 15th. Young 16th. Diniz 17th, Hakkinen 18th, Sato 19th. Someone looks like he's not gotten off of the grid. And it is Kimi Raikkonen has not gotten off the grid. Kimi Raikkonen is out of the race. He actually didn't get off of 6th place. Frenson did very well to realise that. Hakkinen and Sato nearly collided into the back of Raikkonen, but Raikkonen luckily not been hit by anyone, and he will be our first retirement of probably many. As we are going down towards the Adelaide hairpin for the first time. Schumacher putting pressure onto Alonso. Is he going to make the overtake stick? No, Alonso's managed to get a fantastic exit off of that corner and he stays in the lead for now. We're replaying now with a lazy going down about 20 people. And oh my goodness, that is a monumental accident. That Lazy has just pile drived into Montoya, who's just absolutely obliterated into one of the Ferraris, I think it was. It was Barrichello he obliterated into. So that's Barrichello and Montoya both out of the race, just been obliterated by a Lazy who just failed to brake and just plowed straight into the back of Montoya. Alazi, I think, is still in the race, remarkably. There is a lazy. But oh no, he's just been hit by Hakkinen! Hakkinen's on. Hakkinen's crashed into the back of a lazy. A lazy's now out for proper lazy's out now. Hakkinen's lost his front wing and is now going to be slowed down almighty. A lazy didn't have a front wing at all. Overtaken by Hill. Hakkinen tried to do the overtake on Button. Found a Renault just parking it on the apex and just plowed straight into the back of him. So the culprit of the first hairpin incident is finally out because of Hakkinen. And the cursed McLarens, pretty much. There is Hakkinen going into the pits. Everyone 11th down has been delayed by about 5 seconds. With all the people crashing into each other. Hill is down in 9th. Webb is in 8th. The 2 arrows of Frentzen and Schumacher is 6th and 7th. They're going to have a overtaking battle. 3 seconds is the gap between the arrows and Mazzacane. Coulthard's in 4th. Panis 3rd. Schumacher 2nd and Alonso 1st. Mostly because the arrows were delayed in the Adelaide hairpin incident. As it had to take a void in action. So the top 5 have all gotten away. Alonso still leads in the Toyota. Sato sounds like he is out. There is Sato. Suspension failure for Sato. He is out of the race. Not last yet because Hakkinen is still to overtake him. But Sato becomes your second retirement. As Alonso leads. Schumacher 2nd. Panis 3rd. Coulthard 4th. Mazzacane 5th. Frentzen 6th, Schumacher 7th. And there's a bit of a gap to Webber in 8th, Hill in 9th, and then there's even more of a gap to 10th place. Button. De La Rosa is in 11th. All the field are pretty much spread out already. Fisichella 12th, Young 13th, Dinners 14th. And it'll be Hakkinen in 15th and last. We're on board with Alonso leading the French Grand Prix after spending most of the season at the back of the grid last season. The Toyota leads again. We got used to a Toyota leading from Montoya. There's Hakkinen across the line, 51 seconds back from the rest from the leader. He's going to do awfully well to score from there. We're on board with Panis and the BAR. BAR not done good as of late, especially last season. The season before they didn't do particularly well either. Coulthard, Mazzacane. Frentzen is in 6th still. By the looks of it, he's actually gained quite a lot of time. Making up for lost ground are the 2 arrows. Alonso with the fastest lap of the race for the Toyota team. Around the final corner go the 2 arrows. Hill in 8th in the Jordan. He goes round the final corner to start lap. It'll be 5 as they cross the line. Hill 8th, Webber 9th, Button 10th in the Jordan. That is your top 10. Only the top 8 score, remember. Michael Schumacher's looking set to continue his championship lead. I don't remember who's in 2nd. I think it's a lazy that's in 2nd, so he's not scoring any points. And that is Diniz! Diniz out of the race! He's just gone straight across the gravel trap, it looks like, from turn 2. And just stopped. So Diniz out of the race. Hakkinen is in 14th place now. There was Diniz. I don't even know what sort of problem that was. It might be a brake problem. Not too sure. Alonso leads still as he comes round the final corner to start lap 5. We're now on lap 5. Alonso with another fastest lap of the race. Michael Schumacher is in 2nd. They're both pulling away from Panis in 3rd place at the moment. The BA are not suited to these tricky conditions by the sounds of it. Though he is pulling away from Coulthard, so maybe he's just a bit slow compared to the top 2. And that's Alex Young out of the race now. What's going to happen here with Alex Young? And that looks like a brake failure going into the chicane. So Hakkinen, I've been saying that he'd be looking to score points. He's already up into 13th. My prediction would be correct by the sound of it. Young retired in 13th place. There's Hakkinen, 13th place. The Hog Red rooted for Hakkinen to do well now, after the unfortunate incident with a lazy. Button is already caught up to Webber. I'm not even sure where that is. Adelaide. Webber in 9th in the Sauber. There is Hill in 8th. They've got a bit of a ways to go to catch up to Hill. Schumacher and Frentzen still line astern in the 2 hours. They've actually dropped time to Mazzacane, looks like. Got about a second. Mazzacane is still in 5th place, but not making any headway on Coulthard in 4th. Panis is in 3rd. Round the final corner. Alonso with another fastest lap of the race. 3rd, Panis. 2nd, Schumacher. 1st, Alonso. They are your top 3 drivers at the moment. At a very, very wet manicure track. The beautiful camera angle of the leaders going round the Adelaide hairpin. There's Panis, Coulthard 4th round the Adelaide hairpin. Mazzacane in 5th. The 2 arrows 6th and 7th. Schumacher looking like going down the inside of Frentzen. Is he going to make the move stick? Oh, don't take each other out, teammates. Oh, oh, he's pushing Frentzen off onto the inside of that chicane, but it's Frentzen that keeps hold of 6th place at the moment. Hill in 8th. Button 9th, Webber 10th. I thought Hill's about to have a brake failure. He's not. Back on board with the Arrows fight. That's probably why they're losing time, because they are fighting for 6th place instead of working as a team. Frenson's still in 6th though. Schumacher in 7th. Frentzen gets a good exit off that final corner. Is Schumacher going to be able to do anything as they come towards turns 2 and 3? Not round turns 2. Is anything going to happen round down towards the Adelaide hairpin? Where all the action seems to be taking place. Schumacher slowly catching up to Frentzen, it looks like. Is he going to send one down the inside? He is not. He's actually going to stay behind Frentzen. Maybe now they'll be able to catch up to Mazzacane if they work together well. They're now 5 seconds behind Mazzacane in 5th place. Coulthard is in front of Mazzacane at this present time. Round another chicane. A chicane where Young retired, where Lazy got crashed into. Coulthard is in 4th place in the McLaren. Classification at the moment. Alonso leads with another fastest lap of the race. The fuel's getting lighter, the lap times are coming down. Schumacher, Panis, Coulthard, Mazzacane, they are your top 5. 6th is Frentzen, 7th is Schumacher. There's a bit of a gap to Hill in 8th. There is Hill in 8th. Who's in 9th? It is Button, Webber 9th and Button in 10th, so them two are fighting somewhere on the circuit. Oh no, hang on, Button's pitted. De La Rosa's now in 10th, Fisichella 11th. Button pits, and he's slowly falling down the grid. He's currently in 12th place. He might come out in 12th place because Hakkinen. Toyota already in the pits. That is why Alonso is so quick at the moment, because Alonso is light on fuel. He's going to become your first pitter of the French Grand Prix. There he is. Now, how much can Schumacher gain on the Spaniard as he goes into the pits? A very tight pit lane.
Schumacher has moved into the lead. Michael
And
Schumacher has
into
just
his
lap
pit
of the
box.
race.
Michael Schumacher with the fastest lap of the race. Now he's been cleared. Change of all 4 tyres on the Toyota. Is the Toyota... Where will the Toyota come out? Is he going to come out in front of the arrows? Probably not. The Ferrari are ready. So there's the 2 arrows. They're already out. Is he going to come out ahead of Hill? There is Hill. So he's going to have to overtake Hill on circuit. Especially if Schumacher's pitting next lap. Looks like Schumacher is going into the pits next lap with where the fact that Barrichello's not in the race anymore. How fast can he catch up to Hill? That is the ultimate question.
Ferrari already
Ferrari already in the pits. It doesn't need to catch up to Hill because Hill's pitting next lap. 2 arrows. Still very close to each other. Matsucane in 4th in the BAR. Coulthard 3rd. Both of them promoted. Panis in 2nd at the moment. Schumacher is caught up to the back of Hakkinen. That might help Alonso as Schumacher dives into the pit lane now for his first of surely 2 stops. Jordan ready in the pits. That will be for Hill.
is in the pit.
Schumacher in the pits, turning into his pit garage now and changing all 4 tyres. Panis is in the lead now for the first time for a very long time. And away goes Schumacher, 9.8 second pit stop. There goes the 2 arrows. And he is well ahead of Alonso. So Alonso has lost an awful lot of time somewhere along the circuit. And sorry about that. De La Rosa stuck going around first gear around the whole circuit. He's literally just gotten past the pit lane and he's stuck in first gear. He's got to do the whole lap in first gear. He's just been overtaken by Fisichella, thank goodness. I just pull off to the side of the road. I don't know why you're still carrying on around first gear. Most of the corners aren't even... Most of the track's not first gear. He's just slowly going off the red, on the top of the red limiter. He's probably going to blow an engine at this point. Hill, is he going to overtake De La Rosa? Yes, easily. Arrow's ready in the pits, by the way. We're still on board with De La Rosa going around in first gear. Because he's not parking up like an, let's be honest, an idiot. And it's going to be Ralf Schumacher. That's why he's so desperate to catch up with past Frentzen, because Frenzen's going for longer. So Schumacher in the pits now. It looks like a Jaguar ready. That'll definitely be for De La Rosa. Makes Schumacher's time getting into his pit garage a lot more harder though. All 4 tyres have been changed. Fuel still going into the car. There he goes. 9.2. He's going to be ahead of Fisichella. He's going to be in 8th. Jaguar ready in the pits. So De La Rosa is now into the 3rd sector. Webber there in 7th. Alonso 6th at the moment. Down through the Adelaide hairpin. Schumacher is in 5th. Frentzen 4th in the other arrows. Matsucane 3rd. Coulthard 2nd. And in the lead currently is Panis with Hakkinen directly in front. Where is De La Rosa? Is De La Rosa actually got into the pits yet? Yes, De La Rosa has managed to get into the pits. Panis is being held up by Hakkinen. Take him out, go on, just slap him, go on, there we are, Panis past Hakkinen. Round the first corner, round turn 2, round the long sweep, big turn 3. This corner seems to go on forever and ever and ever. And then a quick blast down the straight towards Adelaide. Hardest braking point on the circuit. From about 330 down toward 60, 70 kilometers an hour. And a quick acceleration down towards the chicane. It's a flat out chicane in the dry, not so flat out in the wet. left, right, or right, left, right, left, and then round Chateau. It's a very difficult corner to get right, this. He's managed to get our spot on down towards the next chicane. Little bit of braking for this one. Round the left, round the right. Down to round the next corner. I don't know what the corner name is. And then coming up towards the final couple of sequence of corners. Loads of cars ready in the pits. The BAR, the McLaren, the Arrows. It's Panis first to go into the pits. Coulthard is the second person that will go into the pits. Unless it's Hackenden that they're ready for. No, it's Coulthard. And it will be Frentzen ready in the pits as well. Mazzacane is carried on for one more lap. So Mazzacane leads the race for the first time ever. There is Frentzen. Panis does not get held up by Frentzen. Someone has already gone past. It's Michael Schumacher. Panis looks like he might be fueled till the end of the race. Alonso's managed to stay in front of Panis. Luckily for the Spaniard. Coulthard also in 5th. Not sure if he's fueled to the end or not. I presume he is. It would be a fool not to fuel him till the end on this lap, to be honest. Round the Adelaide hairpin. Frentzen looks like he's still ahead of Schumacher. They've got a 9-second lead over Fisichella at the moment. Very quick chicane this is, and very heavy braking to this corner. We've come up to halfway through the race. Through the chicane goes Mazzacane. He's carrying on for one more lap. Might be a little bit foolish, but if it gets him into the lead, it might work. But he has to dispatch of Hackenden rather quickly if it's going to work. Round turn 1, round turn 2 and 3. Hackenden's in his sights. He's had a lot more easier work of passing Hackenden than Panis did. Heavy braking, and that's Webber in 6th. But Coulthard directly in front. Is he going to make the overtake on Coulthard? He is! Webber in front of Coulthard. Coulthard down into 6th place. Webber yet to make a pit stop. I think Webber's yet to make a pit stop. I don't really remember. Mazzacane ready to go into the pits. He's had one lap of clear air. See if he can get past Panis to get past Coulthard. Let's see if it has worked. Mazzacane into the pits. The change of all 4 tyres. And the fuel still goes in, and away goes Mazzacane. Alonso's going past now. Is Panis going to get past? Not too sure. I think Mazzacane's done it. Or has he? It's going to be very, very close. No, Panis has just managed to cut Mazzacane off. So BAR are 3rd and 4th. They could potentially be 1st and 2nd. It depends on if Schumacher and Alonso can eke the time now. Between now and their next pit stops. But the BAR are in prime position to be 1 and 2 in this race. As Mazzacane has been let past by Panis, it looks like. Looks like a little bit of team orders there between Panis and Mazzacane. Panis just let Mazzacane go through. Obviously, Panis believes that Mazzacane is the quicker driver at the moment. I'm not convinced. But they got Webber for company, so that's why Panis might have let him through. To be honest, Mazzacane has pulled away slightly. Sauber ready in the pits. That will be for Mark Webber. Mark Webber, the only driver in the top 8 yet to make a pit stop. Not sure if they'll keep hold of the top 8. He definitely won't win this race. Webber definitely will not win this race. He's not in the position to. Fisichella already in the pits now. Red already in the pits for Fisichella. Sorry. Now tight cornering. There's Panis 4th. That's Akane directly in front in 3rd. Or the BAR's going to fight. Round turn 3. There is the BAR of Matsukane and Panis hunting the Toyota of Alonso. Heavy braking to Adelaide. Oh, you don't want to take your teammate out, Panis. Not in the current position that you are in. Maybe Panis is a little bit peeved off about the fact he's let the position go from Matsukane. Matsukane potentially could be the 3rd new race winner in the first 3 races. Coulthard 5th, Frentzen 6th, Schumacher 7th, Webber in 8th in the Sauber. He will be looking to score a point. Hill in 9th in the Jordan. 10th place is Fisichella. Jordan looks like they're not scoring points this race. Button in 11th. Hakkinen in 12th and last. There's 12 cars running. And the walk of shame. De La Rosa, Young, Diniz, Sato, Lazy, Barrichello, Pablo Montoya and Kimi Räikkönen all out of the Grand Prix as we go back on board with Michael Schumacher catching up to Mika Hakkinen. Lap 17 of 26, 10 laps to go including this one. Ferrari not ready in the pit, so they're going to... Schumacher obviously going to be pitting next lap, it seems. Doing the double 9 lap stint that we expected the 2 stops to do. But he's going to catch up to Mika Hakkinen. I'm not sure where he's going to catch up to Mika Hakkinen. He might be lucky and catch him up at turn 3, but Schumacher leads. Schumacher with the fastest lap of the race, a 1:20.7. He knows it's crunch time. He knows the threat of the BARs. He's going to easily dispatch of Hakkinen. Hakkinen with a poor race. Unfortunate with the lazy incidents, but he should have seen the Renault. Matsukane, Hakkinen still trying to overtake Schumacher. Coulthard, Schumacher, both of them right by each other. It looks like Frenson's passed Coulthard somewhere on the circuit. Round Chateau goes Schumacher. Quick acceleration, gear 4, 5, 6. Here we go. Ferrari ready in the pits. You can see the tyres getting prepared in the pit lane. Blankets coming off. The 70 degrees Celsius tyres being held in the pit lane. I mean, they're not going to be 70 degrees anymore because of the rain, but it's surprising that the tyres still need to be warm when it's raining. But Schumacher into the pits lane for his second and final stop. Is the BARs going to be in front of the Ferrari? It'll be brilliant if they are, but I don't think they are going to. I think they're going to fail by the matter of like 5 seconds. There is Matsukane. And Michael Schumacher is in front of the BARs. He resumes the net lead of the race. And he's looking set for his second win of the season. The hungry arrows are catching up to the BARs at the right rate of knots. Matsukane in third. McLaren ready in the pits. That's going to be for Hakkinen. Luckily for Schumacher, he's got to pass Hakkinen again. Alonso not having to deal with Hakkinen. But he's got to make this overcut work. Especially on the BARs. Otherwise, it's the pointless staying out these extra laps. Unless he can make the overcut work. Hakkinen in the pits. Arrows are ready in the pits. It's probably going to be for Ralf Schumacher. He was the first of the arrows to make a pit stop. There is Matsukane in third. Panis in fourth. Frentzen holding on to fifth place currently. It's probably going to turn into sixth place because Coulthard's more than likely going to be in front of the arrows. There's Frentzen. Schumacher going into the pits. Coulthard takes hold of sixth place. Schumacher in seventh in the pits. Probably going to be in front of Webber. There is Ralf Schumacher, change of all four tyres. Webber 14-13. Away goes Schumacher. Fuel till the end. Gear 3 down to gear 1. Up 2, 3, 4. And now puts the hammer down. And away goes Ralf Schumacher. Webber in 8th at the moment. Hill 9th, not scoring any points in the Jordan unless something happens between the top 8, which I don't think will. Fizzy Keller 10th at the moment. Button in 11th in the Jordan and Hakkinen. And Matsukane stuck in gear. Matsukane third place. Oh, what a shame for the BAR. He was looking so set for some fantastic points in the BAR. And the Panis and Frentzen have hit each other. Panis is out! Panis is out! Both the BARs are out! Unbelievable! The BARs were looking fantastic for third and fourth, and it's just all gone wrong! It's all gone wrong! I've cursed them! I said, unless something happens to the top, I've cursed the BARs! I was saying they were doing such a good race! That's what, oh no! I can't imagine the stick I'm about to get for cursing the BARs! What happened here? So, it looks like it's going to be a very incident. Panis turning right. Frentzen is a very, very lucky man to still be in the race. A very lucky man. But, oh no! That's going to promote Hill into 7th. Schumacher's been promoted into 5th place. It's going to promote other drivers into other places. I don't. Hill is going into 7th. Fisichella's going to be in 8th. Hakkinen's in 10th place. He's so close to the points. I told you he was going to score points. Alonso's going to. He's not got to worry about the BARs anymore. He's not going to worry. He's going to be in 2nd place. Schumacher's going to win this race comfortably by the looks of it. Arrows ready in the pits. That's going to be for Frentzen. Alonso into the pits for the 2nd and final time. Quick splash and dash for the Spaniard. Schumacher out into the lead now. But Alonso's still got a whole pit lane to trek down. And there we are. Alonso out. He was actually being close to being passed by Coulthard. To be honest, I reckon Alonso would have done it. So Coulthard, out of all this, is in 3rd place in the McLaren. McLaren haven't actually done well this season at the moment, so it'll be a fantastic 3rd place for the McLaren. Frentzen is, after taking out the 2 BARs, actually Schumacher's jumped Frentzen out of all this, so Schumacher's in 4th, Frentzen's in 5th. Frentzen, the lucky person that's actually gained a position out of this. Schumacher's gained 3 positions out of this. Webber in 6th. The nothing all race, and is in 6th place. Hill in 7th. Fizzy-Killer in 8th. Button in 9th. I am not saying anything to jinx anyone in front, to make sure that, to see if Button scores a point for the Jordan. But it would be nice to see Hakkinen score after the disaster he had in the first lap. 10th for Hakkinen. In the lead though is Michael Schumacher. Still leading this race. Alonso is in 2nd in the Toyota. 3rd, Coulthard. And there's now a bit of a gap to the arrows. The one stopping looked like it worked for Coulthard. Not for anyone else. Mostly because the TBR is retired. Round the Adelaide hairpin. Alonso in 2nd. Coulthard in 3rd. There is the 2 arrows. Schumacher in front in 4th and 5th. There's still a bit of a gap to Webber in 6th place. There he is. Webber 8 seconds back from the arrows. Looking to be a good result for the arrows. They're going to score 9 points. Ferrari are going to score 1 extra point because of Schumacher leading, but it's a good race for the Arrows team unless they take each other out. Oh, Frenson, so close. That's the 2nd time he's hit someone. How close was that? How close? Round. Oh, that was relatively close to losing a front tyre. Schumacher is absolutely butchered that chicane. Might paved the way for Frenson to overtake him round this next corner, but Schumacher keeps hold of that 4th place. We might see a fight between the 2 arrows. In fact, Frenson has managed to get past Schumacher in the end. Going towards the chicane, maybe Schumacher felt a little bit of guilt for blocking his teammate. Who knows? But there might be a little bit of words between the 2 drivers at the end of this, nearly for taking each other out, especially in the position that they are in. 5th place Schumacher, 4th place Frenson. Frenson's already taken 1 person out of this race in the BAR of Panis. He came ever so close to taking his teammate out. Frenson certainly in the wars at the moment this season, taking everyone out of every single race. Tried to take out Schumacher in the first race, 2nd race of the season. Took out one of the Jaguars in the first race of the season. Now Ralph Schumacher looks like he's trying to go down the inside of his teammate. Frenson is a very, very lucky man this race. But every single race so far, Frenson has been taking people out left, right and centre. Coulthard is in 3rd place. He's missing out on all the action. He's nowhere near Alonso and nowhere near Frenson. Speaking of nowhere near, Schumacher was absolutely darted away into a 10-second lead as we on to the penultimate lap of the French Grand Prix. Round the 2nd corner. First, Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari. Round the hairpin. There is Hakkinen last at the moment. 39 seconds behind. Button is in 9th. He's actually catching up to Fizzy-Killer at the moment, so we might have a battle for the final point between Button and Fizzy-Killer. And Lee's lot starting their penultimate lap, because they're probably not going to get lapped. I'm not sure if Hakkinen's lapped or not. I suppose we'll find out in a minute if Hakkinen's lapped or not. I don't think Hakkinen's lapped. No, he might actually be lapped. It's quite a big gap. I think Hakkinen's been lapped, so Hakkinen will be starting his final lap in a bit. So Ralph Schumacher and Frenson are still going at it hammer and tongs. Button is catching Fizzy-Killer quite quickly. In fact, Hill's being caught quite quickly by these two. Up the gears. Gear 2, Gear 3, 4, 5, 6. Down the gears now. through the chicane, round Chateau. Schumacher's probably started his final lap now. We've not had an indication of him starting the final lap though, so we have no idea if he started his final lap. I presume so though. Through the chicane, up the hill towards the final sector. We might see a fight for 8th place between Fisichella and Hill. Who is going to take that final point? We have no idea because we're on board with Michael Schumacher, who's driven an absolute superb race. Started on pole, controlled it in the front, and has done just enough in the stint. Michael Schumacher goes round the final corner to win the French Grand Prix. Take his 2nd race victory of the season. Alonso's going to go around the final corner to finish in 2nd. And 3rd place will be David Coulthard, finishing in 3rd place. We have a replay. Button going to overtake Fisichella in the hairpin, and that is overtake stuck there, and Button's going to take home the final point by the looks of it, unless something happens between them two. Through the chicane, round Chateau. Hakkinen has finished in 10th. There's a bit of a gap to the arrows. We'll wait for the arrows to go past the start finish line. There we are. Frentzen 4th, Ralf Schumacher 5th. The only two, the highest scoring of 2 drivers, but not the only car to have both drivers in the points now, because Button is going to finish in 8th place. The last lap overtake on Fisichella, unless Fisichella dive bombs him. He doesn't. Button finishes in 8th. Button holds on to finish 8th. Webber 6th. There's the 2 arrows, 5th and 4th. Coulthard 3rd. Alonso 2nd. But we go back on board with your race winner, Michael Schumacher in the Ferrari. Makes it 2 wins out of 3. He extends his lead in the championship to approximately a lot. As we wait for the rest of the drivers to take hold of Parc Fermé, we are now going through the classified results. Michael Schumacher winning 10.027 seconds behind Alonso. Coulthard finishes in 3rd. Michael Schumacher with the fastest lap of the race as well, with 120.700. Coulthard finishes in a solid 3rd place. The 2 arrows, action-packed all through the race with the 2 arrows. They finish line astern 4th and 5th. Mark Webber finishes in 6th place. It will be the 2 Jordans finishing 7th and 8th. And the rest of the field of non-scorers now. Fisichella in 9th. And Mika Hakkinen, after his first lap antics, finishes in 10th. And then the long list of retirements. Matsukane, I accidentally cursed. I'm sorry, BAR, for cursing you. Hopefully you forgive me. There is Della Rosa. And then the list of retirements early on. Young, Diniz, Sato, Alesi, Barrichello, Montoya. Thank you very much for watching the French Grand Prix. I'm not even sure what track's next. I think it is somewhere. Thank you very much for watching and goodbye.